I'm just trying to get set here, Bogdan.
Thank you. How's that?
Gonna have to do it this way. We can't get a full screen, but I think it will still work, Bogdan. Okay, I hope.
That's where the slides are?
Yes.
Okay.
I don't, this particular laptop doesn't have Adobe on it, so we're having to use a browser. It's not allowing us to get a full screen.
Okay, we'll do the best we can.
Just one moment. Try something else here.
Okay, what I need to, could you advance the slide?
We're trying, just 1 second.
Okay.
We'll use it down here. Yes. Try this. Okay.
Good. So I bought this Bandsaw book a while ago, and I thought it was pretty good. It's from David Picciuto. He has a channel called Make Something. Maybe some of you know his channel. I kind of like it. Advance to the next slide. So the St. Louis is the one I made. It's the first one in the book. And has anyone been to Missouri, to St. Louis? I've been inside the arch, so just mentioning it. So that's why, next slide. So the curve of the box is reminiscent of the arch. So first you have to find a design. I mean, you could look stuff up online, or you can be creative. You can actually draw something and draw out the drawers, and then make a template. So this is an example of David Picciuto's template, which I use. I'll just pass it around. And what you do is you spray that onto your wood, and then you start to cut that out. The wood, you could match different kinds of species of wood together. It's nice to have, you know, some contrasting woods on the outside and the inside of the box. So you can play around and try out different things and see what looks good. I thought some of the slides we just saw earlier were beautiful. Okay, next slide. So first thing you have to do is cut the back off, just like we heard earlier. And then, so to do that, you have to use a resaw blade. So one of the, I guess, annoying things about making a bandsaw box is at least I keep switching blades from a narrow blade to a resaw blade. So it gives me the best cut for each cut. So here we used the 3/16" blade to do the outside of the box. And I also used the Carter stabilizer for my narrow blades, and that really helps a lot. But again, when changing blades, then I have to take the stabilizer out because it's only for narrow blades and put the original guides back on. So it's just a little bit of a hassle unless you have two bandsaws, which is a great idea, by the way. Next slide. This is what it looks like when you cut the back off. And again, that's with the wider blade. Next slide. So with the back off, actually, let me pass these around. So I made samples. This one is just with the back cut off. So this has the template on it, went around with the narrow blade, and then with the resaw blade, I cut the back off. I'm using this tray just so the two pieces don't get separated. So then next you have to cut the inside, the drawer shape out, again, with the narrow blade. Then you have to take the front and back of the drawer off. So you're switching back to the resaw blade. However, here I have a little bit of warning up on the slide because your piece is no longer flat to the table. And it can be, so one of two things could happen. It could get a little bit out of your hands and you could mess up the cut, or it could hurt you. So the book recommends using two paddles to kind of keep it tight against the fence and have a more safer cut. You could also make a jig if you want for this kind of a cut. Okay, next slide. So once you've cut out the actual drawer, you could glue the front and the back on. Now, cutting out the drawer is a little bit tricky because you want to keep it elegant. So it's a little bit narrow. Here's an example with the drawer block cut out and the back off. And I'll just pass this around again in the tray. You get a good sense of what it is. This one, I think, is oak. And the earlier one I passed around for the inside, I used plywood, and I thought it's kind of cute. One question that never comes up in the book, but I thought is a good idea, is you want to sand the front and back before you glue it back on. If you don't sand it before you glue it back on, you have to sand it after you glue it back on, which is not fun. Don't ask me how I know. Next slide. So here's just gluing the back on, no big deal. Next slide. And then here, so now you have your basic shapes and you're just sanding down to the lines on your templates. You could use any kind of a sander, disc sander, belt sander, spindle sander. The spindle sander is a good thing to have because when you're doing insides, when you're doing inside curves, you kind of need it. Sorry, and then you might want to route the edges, and an 1/8 inch round over bit really makes a nice finish on this box. And then you sand the box, you go up through the grits. So this is like 90% done. There's no finish on it and there's no knob. So you sand through the grits, you go up to 320. You make a drawer pull. Again, you could do it from a template. You could be creative. I've even thought of embedding like a coin for the drawer pull. You can take an old rusty nail if you want. Like you could make it as you know, as inner city as you want. And then apply your favorite finish. And then as the last slide, I have the that box that I'm passing around.
Wow. I like the router to give it a little bit of character on the curve. That's something I've never thought of.
Yeah, so it just makes, so when people handle these things, you want it to feel really, really good in people's hands. And I liked some of the other slides that we saw earlier. And again, you could make your own templates like the owl and everything. You can draw your own shape, make your own drawers. You could really have a lot of fun. Laminate different types of wood and make different types of pulls. So it really can be a fun thing. The only thing I don't like is switching blades back and forth and back and forth. Otherwise, it's a lot of fun.
You get to buy another machine.
Yeah, for the inside. But for resawing the back and front off, you really want a little bit longer blade. Otherwise, you have more sanding, more cleaning up to do. Okay, any questions? Any more questions?
Yeah, Bogdan, when you're doing the drum sander on the inside, you're
No.
inside.
Well, you do that before you put the back on, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I've found that you got to be very careful doing that because the more material you take away, the less fitting the drawer is.
That's absolutely true. The more so, but when you're beginning, you know, you do all of that, and then like anything else, after your fifth, your sixth, your seventh box, you kind of figure these things out. Another thing you can do is raise the drawer a little bit to, just like when you do cabinets, you want to center your door in your cabinet. You could put little tiny thin rails inside. You can do all these little tricks, and it centers your door nicely. but also eliminates your reveal. So, but the reveal also looks good because it frames the drawer nicely. So, okay, and a dark inside is good too because it hides everything. And then I'm dying to hear about the flocking because I have never done flocking myself. Yeah, so love to learn. Thank you, everybody. Thank you.
On camera, I'll be using the table.